Okay, so get this, we're going to dive into something super relevant for anyone like braving a Boston winter. Especially with how cold it's been lately. The Charles River. I
Yeah.
know you know about this.
Yeah.
So you sent over this article from CBS News all about like warnings to stay off the ice, even though it looks totally frozen and solid. And it's like one of those things where it's like so counterintuitive.
It really is. And and that's exactly what makes it so important for us to unpack it a little bit, because as humans, we instinctively trust what we see. But, with frozen rivers in particular, that can be incredibly dangerous.
It can be, yeah. And it's tricky because the article, like it shows pictures of this pristine, solid-looking ice sheet covering the river.
Right.
So help us understand, why are the authorities like so concerned?
Well, because what you see on the surface doesn't tell the whole story.
Right.
Underneath, currents, tides, even things like underwater springs can be creating these weak spots in the ice.
Yeah.
And, making the ice dangerously thin.
Oh, wow.
So it's almost like a hidden trap.
It is like a hidden trap. And the article actually mentioned that the Massachusetts State Police are the ones behind the warnings.
Right, yeah.
And they've even shared some photos on social media.
They have, yeah.
Did those photos like show anything surprising?
They did. Some of them showed what appeared to be, pretty thick ice. But, right next to it in these photos, the ice was so thin that you could actually see the water flowing underneath.
Oh, wow.
And I think, for me, looking at those pictures, it really highlighted how unpredictable these variations in the ice can be.
That's a stark visual.
Yeah.
It makes you think twice.
It does.
About trusting your eyes.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, do you think most people would even know how to spot those danger zones?
That's a great question. And unfortunately, I think the answer is probably not. And this is where I think understanding a little bit about the science can come in really handy.
Yeah.
For example, the article mentioned that clear ice is typically stronger than ice that is cloudy or milky.
Oh, okay.
So, knowing those visual cues, I think, can be crucial.
Okay, so that's a great takeaway for anyone listening.
Right.
Clear ice, good. Cloudy ice, bad.
You got it.
But even then, this isn't just a Charles River thing, right?
Oh, absolutely not. This applies to any frozen body of water.
Okay.
And, it's not just about falling through the ice either. The article mentions that, even just walking on thin ice can put stress on it.
Right.
And potentially weaken it for other people
who
might be venturing out onto the ice later.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect.
Exactly.
Putting even more people at risk.
It is, yeah.
So let's say for our listener who's thinking about, a winter walk by the river, or maybe even going ice skating on a pond. Like, what's the most important thing to remember here?
I think it's twofold. I think first and foremost, never ever assume the ice is safe.
Right.
Just because it looks solid.
Yeah.
Always check with, local authorities, look for warnings, guidelines, things like that. And second, I think arm yourself with knowledge. Learn those visual cues, understand the different factors that are at play, and really treat any frozen body of water with a healthy dose of respect.
Totally. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to safety.
It really is.
This whole thing just got me thinking. It's like encountering,
Yeah.
thin ice in other areas of life. Things that appear safe, but actually might be kind of risky.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think, what it all comes down to is developing that critical thinking muscle.
Yeah.
Questioning assumptions, looking beyond the surface. Because whether it's a financial decision, a relationship, or even just trusting a piece of information online, there's always that deeper layer to consider.
It's such a great point to end on.
Right.
Thanks for this deep dive on ice safety and for just reminding us all to stay vigilant.
Absolutely.
Both on the river and off.
You got it.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there.
We will. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.